Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we just got back from setting up our first outpost on the moon. Of course, it's not very effective yet because we don't have a communications network for it. So that is our mission for this particular episode. However, I did check in between episodes here. I saw this plant flag on the moon. We're going to need to go back to the moon anyway, so we might as well grab this for the free money. Otherwise, we need to set up some satellites in a polar orbit of Kerbin and a polar orbit of Kerbin, which is interesting. Is that actually the same orbit? Can we do that in one launch? No, these are very different polar orbits. Okay. Good to know. And those are going to need nothing in particular for one of them. Is this the larger one or the smaller one? This is the smaller one. This is the larger one. The larger one needs to have nothing in particular. Okay, so we can just have a standard ComSat for those. For Minmus, we need a materials bay on there. And for Moon, we need a mystery goo and materials bay. Okay. Both of those should be fine. So we'll do the Kerbin ones first, and then we will do the Moon and Minmus one. This will take a couple of episodes, and then after that, we will utilize the new tech that we got to get our outpost properly set up on the moon with a return trip to the moon. So first things first, we're going to need to open something like the Griffin 3L. Now this is massive overkill in terms of a lifting unit. We're not going to be lifting anything anywhere near as heavy. We're going to get rid of this, and we are going to save this. Actually, don't we already have a Raven 0X? We do. This one here. And I hate it. I hate it with a fiery burning passion. So, we're just going to restart it. We're going to take this off of here. We're going to put in a Probodobodine Octo, I believe. Let's see, Probodobodine Hex. Actually, a Probodobodine Hex is what we're going to put in. So we're going to need to get rid of both of these, like so. Hello? Okay, I guess we'll have to put in a new one. Then we'll get rid of that. There we go. Probodobodine Hex is going to be our basic structure here. And then we're going to, what do we got in here? We do have reaction wheels in here. Probably not much of reaction wheels, but we don't need much of reaction wheels. We'll put a battery pack there. We'll put on solar panels so that we can actually recharge our battery pack. That will be good. Technically, this is 6-sided. So maybe we should just put in 6 solar panels like that. And then we will put in our second generation relay antenna. We never used the first generation relay antenna. And now we'll need a small maneuvering system. I would usually prefer to use ion propulsion here, but we don't have that yet. So we're going to need something like a T200 with just a teeny tiny little engine. Not an ant. Or a mite. Yeah, that would not be good. We're probably going to just put a Terrier on here. How much burn time is that? 56 seconds? 522 meters per second? What about in vacuum? 2240 meters per second. Okay. That should be plenty. Okay. And so then we're going to put in a decoupler here. This thing is not coming back, so we'll just put in a decoupler, and then we'll put on this main core here. Now, this is way, way too much. I'm going to ditch these SRBs, and we are just going to bicouple on a couple of things, but I do want to change this, actually. This being a T400 is probably fine, but I don't think we actually need this stage. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're just going to have this single core here. And we're going to upgrade this to 2 T800s to make it slightly cheaper. Like so. And then we're going to put back on the fins, since we are going to need some level of control here. Was our center of mass? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Our center of mass is going to come down. We're going to bicouple on here, something like right here. We're going to put on another pair of T800s. And we do not need you. There we go. Another pair of T800s, like so. And then this is going to be, this is a swivel. Yeah, so we're going to have these be Reliance out here. And that looks good as far as aerodynamics go. So we'll just go ahead and put a nose cone on these, and we will strut them up. Something along the lines of this. It's already attached near the top, so it's going to spin outward as it gets detached, which is perfect. We'll also strut it in down here just to be on the safe side. And then, let's see, we need fuel tank, or fuel lines. So we'll run a fuel line into the center like so. Fantastic. I'm not sure where that engine went. Did I accidentally... I think I accidentally removed that, in addition to the other portion. Okay. So we're obviously going to need to... So I'm a moron. We already knew that, though. So we're going to do something like this. We're going to need a fairing on this, but I just want to check the staging and the thrust to weight here quick. So that detaches there, and then... This is a decoupler, right? Somehow there's not a decoupler here now. I don't even know. Just fix that. There we go. Okay, so these fire at the same time. Then the side tanks fall off. Then the center core falls off, and we fire the maneuvering stage. That's all we really need here. I do want to put in that fairing, and the fairing will connect here. So that'll be under payload. And we're going to go for a 1.25 meter fairing. And we will just bring this up something like right there. Yeah, that'll be... that's actually probably too much. Let's edit that. Let's just bring that back to here, and then we'll just put it something like there-ish. It's actually requiring that it be about this wide, which is acceptable. Can we narrow this at all? To about there, and then we can narrow it about like that. There, that'll be a slightly less heavy fairing. Okay, so it would be something along the lines of this. Let's double check the staging. That all looks good. That detaches. Fairing would happen here. We'd manually stage the fairing. I prefer to do that myself, just not through the staging system. Okay, I think this is pretty much good to go. Now, we should check before we launch to see what directionality we need to be going. Do we need to be going northward or southward here? Northward if we're targeting this one, and if we're targeting this one, we also need to be going northward. Okay. So, either way, we need to go north, and either way, we're going to have some big inclination changes to do. Let's check our thrust-to-weight ratio one final time, and also our aerodynamics. Aerodynamics look good, in theory. Thrust-to-weight of 1.22 in this stage is a little bit on the sketchy side. I'd like to be maybe a little faster than that. I mean, we could go to bigger tanks in, like, the center core. And bring a mainsail in the center core. Actually, we don't have mainsails. We could bring a skipper in the center core, though. We could strap on SRBs. I think let's just give this a go and see how it feels. We don't have any Kerbals in this anyway, so if it blows up, we just lose a little money. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to be going northward, which of course is down on the nav ball right now. And I think we're ready to try this out. Now we're running Reliance out here for the increased thrust. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. We're good. We'll recover that. I had the wrong engine in the wrong stage. I'm a complete moron. Okay. We lost a little bit of money, but not much. We were able to recover most of that. So the issue here is that this needs to be here, and this needs to remain where it is. 1.72. That's much better. Okay. Let's try this again. I was convinced that I checked that. Okay. Staging is good. Off we go. That's much better. We shouldn't be draining from the center core, and indeed we are not. So that is ideal. Our apoapsis is currently plenty high. We can start working our way over to getting a little bit of horizontal speed. I'm not looking for too much right now in the way of horizontal speed. Just a wee little bit. We can throttle down as we're going through max Q. We are officially through max Q. Throttling back up. And trying to make my way a little bit more aggressively here. The atmosphere is fighting us pretty hard, though. I want to get rid of the side cores pretty quickly here. I'm going the wrong way. I'm going equatorial. We need to change this attitude pretty dramatically, because I'm a moron. Okay. We're going this way, guys. Oh, wow. I'm so bad at this game. Our apoapsis is plenty high right now. But we need to be going northward. I started going the wrong way. Hopefully we have the DV to correct it. I think we do. Like, I really, really do. I mean, we're going to have to make massive inclination changes anyway, no matter how we do this. So maybe this isn't the worst thing. We'll have to see. Time to apoapsis is holding pretty steady right now. Okay, it's going up. I'm going to continue allowing it to until we are 2 minutes from apoapsis. Okay. And yeah, our inclination, as expected, is completely wacky. That's okay. We're just aiming for orbit right now. So let's get into orbit, which would be something like this. Yeah, that's fine. That's good enough. We have almost no turn authority right now because our reaction wheel in this is really crappy. So we'll just head on over. I'll arrest that momentum so that we don't have to overshoot. And there we go. So we're going to want to burn this at, what, 18 seconds? T-minus 18? Yeah, that's correct. We can get rid of the fairing as well. Fairing can go. I waited an extra half second because our burn time changed there. Because of the losing the fairing weight. Okay, this inclination is going to be nowhere near what we need. But that's okay. We have a lot of DV in the tank. More than enough to make this happen. And we're officially in orbit. Good enough. Okay. So we're going to need to locate our ascending and descending nodes, which of course are basically right here. Add a maneuver here. And I changed it, the view. I need to not do that. We are, actually, we're aiming for the bigger one, right? So let's try this again, but aiming for this guy. So our view would of course be right here, lining up the ascending and descending nodes. We grab it right there. And we'll need to change our inclination pretty dramatically. In fact, probably this way, right? Something like that-ish. Yeah, we can adjust that a bit more later. That's approximately the right inclination. And we're going to be going this direction, I think this way, which is the correct directionality. Okay, that seems good. That is a lot of DV to get that change done. Luckily, that's the only major inclination change we'll have to make. So hopefully, we'll have enough to get there. I think we will. I really do. That also gets us most of the way there in terms of our apoapsis. So it's kind of a combination thing. So let's just get turned over to here. And then we will go ahead and warp right now-ish. Adjust our position a tiny amount. There we go. Technically, that's our rotation, not our position. And we'll go ahead and warp to next maneuver. Hopefully we're not going the wrong way, but if we are, we can invert our directionality without too much DV. Okay. So we're going to need to burn this at T minus 25½ seconds. So we'll just warp forward towards that. So right then. Excellent. And our inclination is changing. We are out of fuel in our center core, and I can't stage it. There we go. It didn't want to stage. That's okay. At least in theory. I think this is close enough for the contract, but we may have to adjust it a small amount once we get our apoapsis and periapsis raised. Oh, we are going the wrong way. Okay. Fair enough. At this point, we are off by 1 degree. And I'm just checking to see if we can get that better. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So at this point, at the apoapsis, how much would it cost to invert our directionality? More than we've got. Okay. So at the periapsis, we want to push the apoapsis out to be approximately 9.3 million. So about like that-ish. And we can adjust this a little bit more later on. And that would not take very much DV. So we'd burn that in 4 hours, right, because we're going this way. Yeah, okay, that'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and warp to that maneuver. That'll be a prograde burn. We only have 1,000 DV left. The inclination change was more DV than I was expecting, to be sure. If we end up not getting this contract, though, that's fine. This is still a decent orbit. It's only a 2-second burn. So we're going to want to burn this at T minus 1 second. Just like that. Okay. At this apoapsis now, how much would it cost to invert our directionality? Should be substantially less. Yeah, that's reasonable there. Something like that. That would do the trick. So we'll go ahead and warp to that maneuver. And hopefully that will get us to where we need to be. We're not going to have too much DV left to make any adjustments. It's going to be close. There's no doubt about that. Where is Kerbin? There's Kerbin. Hi, Kerbin. And of course, if I had launched correctly, it wouldn't be anywhere near as close. And we're also going for the harder one, so there's that. Oh, no, we need to be going retrograde, not prograde. We want to burn this at T-minus 8 seconds. There we go. So at T-minus 8 seconds... There we go. Excellent. Directionality has been flipped. Apparently that's good enough. Contract complete. That was close. 112 meters per second left. Nice. I like it. That was definitely closer than I would have preferred, but a lot of that is because I initially started launching equatorial, and then aborted that and started going polar partway through. Really messed up the inclination and cost a lot of delta V on the inclination change. The next time, we don't have to go as far out, and our inclination is less extreme, I think. So it should be easier, and the Raven 0x should be more than capable of making it here. As far as the moon polar, or actually the moon equatorial orbit goes, it should be more than capable of making that as well. And the Minmus orbit, yeah, we should be able to make all of those with the Raven 4X. However, it is kind of late in the episode to get started on those, so I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here, and next episode, we are going to work on those 3 contracts. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.